You're watching Breakfast Television, 8:41, Moose on the Loose. That is the name of the book that we're talking about, and I am here with the editor, Matt Jackson. Tell me a little bit about this book, because this is the 6th one, right?
That's right. It's actually number 6 in the series, and they're all wacky, funny, off-the-wall stories about things that happen to people while traveling or spending time in the outdoors. The kind of stories that maybe aren't funny at the time, but later make for great stories.
They do. They make for great stories. I read a couple of them last night. Let's talk about one of them, Lake Expectations.
Well, Lake Expectations, the writer Phil Torrens, who's from Vancouver, his wife and her friend had been bugging him for some time to take them up somewhere where they could see a moose in the wild.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a very Canadian, a quintessential Canadian experience. So he said, well, let's go up to the Beauron Lakes Canoe Circuit, which is in north-central BC. Definitely going to see a moose up there.
For sure.
Well, after 8 days of terrible weather, rain and gusting winds and so on, horrible, they still hadn't seen a moose. So they're sitting there having lunch on the shore of a lake, and suddenly they spot a mother moose and a calf running at full tilt along the shore towards them. So, of course, they're pretty excited.
Yeah, I would be excited.
Yeah, they get up with their cameras at the ready, and that's when they noticed the large grizzly bear chasing the mooses in their direction.
Oh.
So they actually ducked down behind a small skiff. There was a boat that the rangers used for maintaining the portage trails and so on. And wheeling around the corner came the moose. They veered at the last second, missing the boat. But the bear did not. It actually whacked into the side of the boat on the other side from where they were hiding. So they look up, and the bears look up, they look at each other, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Now, they were in a dangerous situation there. But
they were.
But they got to see the moose, and they got to see some bears, too.
They got to see a very large grizzly bear up close and personal.
Yeah. Okay, we got another story here, and this is from Brent Curry, an Ontario cyclist. This one was funny. I think we can all relate to this one.
Well, I think we can, because this actually has to do with, you know, we've all gotten those emails from scam artists in Africa.
Yes, we have.
And this is exactly what happened to Brent Curry. So he's a writer and an engineer. He actually develops these concept bicycles.
Yeah.
He's got a real quirky sense of humor. So one of them is a bicycle with a dog walking accessory on the side. Another one has a hot dog cart attached to the side. He does this just as gigs, so they're one-offs.
Does he actually make these?
He does. He does.
But
so they're gags.
They're gags.
Exactly.
He doesn't really sell these.
Exactly.
Okay, so continue with the story.
Well, so this scam artist from Africa contacted Brent. He wanted to purchase or put in a rather large purchase order for these bicycles. And so Brent, of course, this got him wondering a little bit. And basically what the scam is that they ordered all of these products, something like $20,000 worth of products.
Yes.
And then just when they've hooked in the retailer to selling them, and they have their own in-house shipping company, claiming at the end that they can't pay them. So they ask the retailer to pay the shipping company and then be reimbursed.
Which is almost $6,000. You pay that for us, and we'll pay you at the end. Not only will we pay you for the equipment, but we're going to pay you the $6,000 for the shipping as well. And of course, they never get the money, and then they're scammed. So he knew that this guy was a scam artist, but he decided to play back and forth with him.
Well, and this is the key to the story, is that he understood this, and then he actually he wanted to see how far he could string these guys along.
And he went pretty far.
Further than you would think.
Further than you would think. The guy on the other end just didn't get it and kept going back and forth.
Oh, he did.
So it was a pretty funny story. Now, I want to talk about your favorite story in the book. One of your favorite stories. Of
course, there's lots of them, but actually, cottagers from Toronto would understand this one well. There's a cottager, Barb McClear, from Georgian Bay, who actually had a neighbor that had a septic system that was clogging up. They had a lot of people coming out to visit them and so on, and so it couldn't really handle that much traffic, you could say, on the outhouse. So they actually recommended that he use some baking soda. Just add a little bit of baking soda to the septic system. This would activate it.
Okay.
And one thing led to another. He actually ended up adding a lot of baking soda.
Maybe he just shouldn't have added that much.
Maybe a little too much. And they were out for a walk along the beach the next morning, and suddenly they heard this distinct rumbling sound.
Oh, no.
Exactly. And the next thing you know, there was an explosion and raining all kinds of stuff, of course, through the air.
I know what kind of stuff. I know the kind of stuff that you're talking about. And, you know, you can laugh about it now, but...
Wasn't funny at the time.
It wasn't funny at the time? What happens if somebody was on that toilet?
Well, I don't think I'd want to know.
I don't want to know either. One real quick story before we go.
Oh, boy. Matt Hill. You've probably heard of Matt Hill. He's an ultra-marathon runner.
Yes.
he actually ran around North America for an organization called Run for One Planet. And in Quebec, he actually, what he would do is he'd drink every day these protein shakes, the blueberry-flavored protein shakes. And so he was in Quebec one day. He finished a long haul and was looking forward to this protein shake. Came into the RV, and one of the road personnel said that they had already fixed it for him. So he grabs it, chugs it down. Didn't taste like blueberries. He then realized that this was actually a cup of bathroom cleaner that they'd been using to clean the bathroom.
Oh, no. Was he okay?
Well, of course, he had this near-death experience where he's like, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Turns out, being at Run for One Planet, this was an eco-friendly bathroom cleaner. So
Thank
he just
goodness. Oh my goodness. So many stories. Moose on the loose. For more information, you can go to summitstudios.biz. And of course, we are going to have all that information on breakfasttelevision.ca. Some great stories. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Taking a break on BT.